because the Obama chef was black, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think so, but they both drowned, right?
Oh, yes. That could be the problem. You're right. That might be the common denominator.
Well,
Nothing
I mean,
nefarious. They're just blacks who can't swim.
the first thing I think it's the same thing that everybody saw. Was the Goyim or the what is it called, the Jewish guy talking about the tunnels and the stained mattresses.
There was one more viral image going around, and this is the one everyone's been talking about. Is this, Dirk just pulled up on screen, stained mattress that was pulled out of the tunnel being carried by members of the synagogue. So there's a lot of crazy conspiracy theories. I don't want to go down any tasteless rabbit holes. But David, if you could explain, why was there a mattress in the tunnels and what is this stain? A lot of folks are wondering, is this stain feces?
No, it's not feces.
What
The
is
stain
it?
is blood, and basically we did rituals. I said that before. There were some rituals that we do in the tunnels, and sometimes the rituals might involve someone who recently died, and we'll bring them down there, and we're trying to do a ritual to bring back the Messiah.
Yeah, we interviewed a tunnel Jew.
Yes, where the fuck did you find that guy?
So the backstory is we live in New York, and now we know the infamous Jew tunnels, or maybe not infamous, because infamous has a negative connotation. To me, the tunnels are awesome. They're a place of refuge, and a place to aspire to be. A lot of people like to slander the tunnels. I'm hyping up the tunnels.
I mean,
So
I feel like I'm very pro tunnel, just in like a
Pro-tunnel.
very basic sense. You know, I like the idea of burrowing. I don't know why.
It's cozy.
Yeah, it's nice. You know, you put like a little fireplace down in there. You know, get
Maybe
you like a nice
little
couch.
hobbits in the Shire.
I mean, I do always like, I want my office to always be like, you know, the ideal, like, you know, when you kind of like picture your ideal, like maybe streaming setup or just like office setup, it always for me ends up looking like the Bat Cave. And so maybe that's why I like tunnels. You know, I like just like the earth around it and just a lot of screens, and I'll be good.
Yeah. My ideal anything setting ends up looking like a tunnel. So that's why I was thrilled to finally have these come to light.
I was upset that they filled them full of concrete, though. That seems like a waste
Yeah,
of a good tunnel.
Yeah, Tony, how did that guy feel about them going in and sealing up the tunnels?
Yeah, he was asked about that. Our co-host asked him about that because that was what we were told in the news, and he told us that that didn't actually end up happening. I think that was the cover story to put everyone at ease because everyone was so up in arms and confused about the tunnels and didn't really understand why they were there. So he came on and he clarified exactly why they're there.
Yes, I
And did you
believe
believe him?
one of the reasons you said was called, what did you call it? GCT, Goyim Conversion Therapy?
Uh-huh. Yeah, so he went through some of the actual reasons why the tunnels exist because a lot of people had some tasteless conspiracy theories around the tunnels' existence. But luckily, we had an authentic tunnel Jew come on and explain. So, as you just mentioned, one of the main reasons the tunnels exist is for GCT, and I didn't even know what that was. Did you? Have you heard about that prior?
Mm-mm.
I
What's
thought GCT was the stuff you drink like a cap of it and like you get really fucked up and like you can't move.
Oh, no, that's ayahuasca.
No, this is
PCP?
like it like comes in like a thing that looks like bleach.
PCP?
Oh, I'm thinking of GHB. I'm sorry.
Oh,
geez.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
No, GCT is the opposite. It doesn't fuck you up. It actually heals you, is the way I see it. 'Cause what it is as you mentioned, is Goy conversion therapy. So what it is
Oh, okay.
you know what it is?
Is it basically Jewish
no, I was just saying-
AMSR?
The G.
Yeah, ASMR. Yeah.
ASMR.
So what they do is, because it is very gentle speaking, similar to ASMR. What they do is they go into the sewers through the tunnel system, and they speak readings from the Torah, chant Jewish Yiddish songs of old, sacred speak, and they echo it through the sewer grates to the passersby up above.
Oh shit!
And the reason it's similar to ASMR is it's not very loud, where it's like an obnoxious chant. It's actually very softly done so that it intentionally will seep into your subconscious subliminally. It's like subliminal messaging, but again, that has a negative connotation as well. But this is actually a very good connotation, because the point of it is to convert goys up above to Judaism, and or at the very least recognize Jews as the chosen people, as they are.
Oh, I get it. So it's like those women that like the crystals, and they talk about the harmonics that you can't actually hear, but it's reverberating and affecting your life anyway. So that's what they're trying to do.
So
Yeah,
rather
okay.
going to the Wailing Wall, they're just becoming the Wailing Wall. Is that what you're saying?
Right. In this case, they're wailing down below, and the wall is, I guess, the infrastructure above them.
Do you think
Which
that's
we're
why people could think New York's so haunted, because they just have actually just Jews in their walls reading the Torah to them?
I'm starting to
Yeah.
wonder that myself.
But they're like Casper. They're friendly ghosts.
Well, they're friendly to a certain group.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
so I'm just curious, because I've got this neighbor in my apartment complex who keeps bumping Ludacris like at all hours of the night. Is that like a similar? Are they trying to do the same sort of thing where they're trying to convert me to Ludacris?
Well, that's
No,
second degree
weirdism.
Judaism. You know, Jewish to hip hop to criminal activity, or something. Maybe
Yeah, that's probably probably African American folks trying to convert whites to black. So like what they did with Rachel Dolezal, they converted her from a white girl to a black girl.
I know, that
alright,
was an
that makes more
amazing
sense now.
transformation.
Yeah, that was.
There's a legit conspiracy out there that Stephen A. Smith is actually Ludacris. Not lying.
Really?
There's an actual conspiracy on TikTok.
I love that.
For real.
So I've got a few. Well, first, before we get on to some more conspiracy stuff, I wanted to ask you about your
These aren't
cartoons.
conspiracies, these are good things.
Well, I mean, we have to call
Very
conspiracy for YouTube. We don't want to call them fact, because then we get struck down for misinformation, even if we're correct.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
go on.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I've
no.
learned that from being friends with the ROTC guys. Even if you bully a dead confirmed pedophile, you will get your YouTube channel pulled. It will just get deleted.
All right, we're in big trouble then.
Oh yeah, definitely. So I want to ask you about your cartoons. When did that all begin?
So we started that in 2017. There Goes the Neighborhood is the name of it, and we do these political satire cartoons. Those aren't real. The podcast 9/11 is Gay is very, very real.
So what made you shift from doing like? Well, I'm not saying shift, because you're still doing the cartoons. But like, what made you suddenly like want to jump into podcasting?
Yeah, I kind of explained it on that other person's podcast, so I feel stupid saying the same thing, but I think the divide was that the cartoon is fiction, and then I'm also very educated. I have a GED, so I really wanted to flex that educated muscle and get into journalism.
That's cool.
I didn't pass those CAT tests in elementary school for nothing.
I also shop at GED, or no, I'm at HEB. Never mind. Anyways, I really enjoy cartoons. If you guys haven't checked out, like my favorite one personally was the X-Men one, and the part where Michelle Obama shows up as the
melanin mammal.
I'm sorry.
The melanin mammal.
Yeah, that was it. I was like, I know it was like a form of Black Panther. It's been a little bit since I watched it. I have a coworker that I told about it. It's a black guy, and I just go, oh, it's all these trans characters that like form like a Justice League, and they're trying to stop this calamity from happening or whatever. And I was like, Derek Chauvin and Kyle Rittenhouse show up, and then Michelle Obama shows up to save the day, and he goes, huh, because she's a man. I was like, It's like,
Yeah.
yes, she
That summarizes it well, yeah.
Like, only we had some way to distract them, then we could, like, totally sneak attack them from behind.
But what on earth would distract Derek Chauvin and Kyle Rittenhouse, huh?
Looks like y'all can use some melanin.
Look there! It's one of our fellow X-Men!
Who is Michael Obama? Who was Michael Obama?
Michelle Obama, with the power of fulfilling racially diverse quotas!
Hold your fire, kid! We got a more pressing issue to take care of.
How do you feel about that? Like, where are you, like, on, like, the reality? Like, do you actually believe Michelle Obama's a man? Because sometimes I don't know, man. I don't fucking know what to believe out there.
I think Michelle isn't a man, though I do think Obama is gay. Remember that letter that came out that he wrote to his ex-girlfriend saying how gay he is?
Yes. Well, what about the chef? What do you think about the whole chef thing?
Yeah, the chef just drowned. Or not just.
Weird.
But
Drowned naked from paddleboarding. Yeah, he was naked.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he was totally naked, and like his head was caved in, I think.
Well, that happens a lot.
Yeah, definitely while paddleboarding.
People, chefs keep drowning. It's actually a natural phenomenon. Because the Clintons also had a chef who drowned. Did you know that? So this is actually a recurring problem in society where I think we actually need to call in Homeland Security to probably figure out this problem.
Yeah,
why do our private chefs keep drowning?
They have a Clinton airport in Little Rock, and like a year or two ago, they changed the name because they were so embarrassed to the Clintons.
Everyone kept the planes kept committing suicide.
Yeah, but when they find the wreckage, there would be like staples and everything, and they're like, "What the fuck? Why is there power cords wrapped around the turbines?"
I have a quick question. Was the Clinton chef also melanated?
What, converted to a black person?
Yeah,
because the Obama chef was black, right?
I think so. But they both drowned, right?
Oh yes, that could be the problem. You're right. That might be the common denominator. Nothing nefarious. They're just blacks who can't swim.
Yeah, I was going to say, everybody knows they kind of have a problem with water.
All right, so we solved this mystery.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
Find out if the Clintons was in fact of the African persuasion. That's a good theory.
Hal, look that up. I just called somebody off the show. But yeah, so I got some other questions. Do you think there could be more tunnels out there? I heard you touch a little bit on Top Lobster's podcast, the Nephilim Death Squad. If you guys haven't watched his interview over there, definitely go check it out. How widespread do you think this whole tunnel epidemic is in America?
Yeah, so the interesting thing in the interview was the tunnel Jew we interviewed, whose name is David Saltzman. When I talked to him beforehand, before he came on, he touched on one thing that he didn't really expand on very much in our interview with him. So I do want to bring this up to your audience because this is something very interesting. Everyone thought that the tunnels in Brooklyn were really just like a 50-foot long thing that went from one building to another building. But the truth of the matter is they're actually an entire underground system. And the term he used was an underground civilization that Jews have because they've been so persecuted throughout history, very unfairly, sometimes fairly. That's not my opinion.
True.
But,
I mean, you'll get kicked out of 110 countries for nothing, right?
Yeah, it's coincidence. So what they've actually been doing is, especially with the turmoil in the Middle East now, the Jews might get kicked out of their own country, which is owed to them. So what they are doing now is actually building a whole underground civilization underground. And these tunnels are not really just tunnels. It's a whole city for them where he said they have like restaurants under there. They have spas, nurseries.
So it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Shopping malls.
Does it connect to the Denver
hospitals.
airport?
Yes, that's where I was going to go next, Kyle.
Mm.
Could this be possibly connected to the government? Because I do have this this video here from this lady. We like to go down the schizo posting rabbit hole. Oh shit, microwave. On TikTok sometimes, and this lady right here's got a little video about tunnels and earthquakes and how they might be connected to the tunnels and the U.S. government.
All of the red is federal land. Black is cave systems. The black lines are the deep underground military bases and the subterranean tunnels that run throughout the country. Please look at how they all connect to a cave system. Hold on, I'm not done.
Good
So
Lord.
these are all the earthquakes that have taken place in the past 30 days in the United States. Now let me show you this. Told you it was suspicious. It's suspicious. Why? Why do the subterranean tunnels all lead to areas that are experiencing lots of earthquakes? Remember on the first map how all of the West Coast was federal land? Now look at the West Coast having all these earthquakes, and look at how many earthquakes are happening where a tunnel ends. Is it because...
All right, Tony, what do you think? Do you think there's some connection to possibly the New York tunnels and the system of tunnels that are connected to military bases? Or do you think this is all just coincidence? Like, you're our expert here.
It seems that way now. So to me, it actually does kind of line up. If I could equate that to something that also recently happened in New York. I don't know if you guys heard this, but there was another Jewish building that recently collapsed in New York.
I don't hear many banks collapsing.
For seemingly no reason. So the theory is there was another tunnel under that building and the infrastructure gave in.
Huh.
So similar to these earthquakes that are happening, are they even earthquakes or are they collapsing buildings from the tunnels underneath? And to go further, you were asking if we think that the tunnels are connected with these supposedly military, the Jew tunnels are connected with military tunnels.
I mean, we fund them. Why wouldn't we work with them?
Yes. See, the way I see Israel is just an extension of the United States, where we fund them so much, which is really good. We should fund them even more. What are we only at? Like 400 billion? That's it?
I mean, yeah,
It goes
come on.
up every year.
Go
That's like
Israel is what we say on this podcast.
That's
You heard it
almost
here,
double.
YouTube.
That's like giving someone like $20 for their wedding gift.
Now no one can ever call me anti-Semitic.
No.
Right.
So, yeah. So what I'm thinking is we see them as like a really like sister country to us. So their tunnels, we probably could repurpose or probably do as military type tunnels. And we work in collusion with them. And if they're causing earthquakes or buildings to collapse, that's kind of just, it's fallouts or collateral damage to a greater good, where the Jews are helping us with military operations. Like, for example, which is good, like how Jeffrey Epstein was a Mossad agent running a blackmail operation, and people really had a problem with that. But to me, I think that was a good thing because he was blackmailing rotten people. And to me, that's kind of good because you're catching these rotten guys on camera doing nefarious things. And then now you could blackmail them and use it against them. So what is blackmailing criminals bad all of a sudden? No, that's,
I mean, if
it's leveraging the criminals and
you're just exposing all the pedophiles in the government. That's yeah, I see what you're saying.
It's kind of like a narc where like the FBI, God bless him.
So that's why those kids all went on to become CIA agents. That makes sense now. Okay, I was wondering about that.
But it's like the FBI like using a narc or using a known criminal to now work for them to get other criminals. So Epstein was kind of doing a good thing by blackmailing criminals, nasty men doing bad things, and then they could leverage them and use them for their own purposes and make it turn it into a good thing.
Yep. Here at the ministry, we salute Mr. Jeffrey.
Yeah, you hear that? You hear that? YouTube. No bullying of a dead pedophile here.
Doing the Lord's work.
That's
Or
right.
Nephilim,
We're
I
better
don't
than
fucking know
ROTC
anymore.
in that one aspect.
And if Epstein really was Mossad, that means he is working with the U.S. government too. So he's one of us. And
yeah,
absolutely. He has our best interest at heart.
That's like if you work for Marvel, you're also working for Disney.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All in the House of Mouse.
Yeah, but mice like to pee where they sleep.
It's true.
Pretty gross.
I had another question about you. Have you heard this theory that the Joe Biden that we all know currently in the White House is not the real Joe Biden? What are your
is
thoughts?
that the whole question?
Yeah, have you heard this theory? Like, what are your thoughts on this?
No, I actually haven't heard that. But
you haven't heard the two-ear theory? That's what we're calling it. It's called the two-ear theory.
Well, this could go in, like, my initial instinct is, okay, so if it's a clone Biden, why did they clone him with an absolute retard? Because the Biden we're all seeing on TV.
Because our cloning technology is not very good. It gets the body, the mind deteriorates quickly.
He's a beta version.
Like Multiplicity. Have you seen Multiplicity?
No.
Oh, good lord.
You don't
maybe
remember
just one of those CIA
Michael
masks?
Keaton starts cloning himself a bunch of times, and a couple of the clones come out retarded?
Yeah, as he does it
It's a
more, they
classic.
get more and more retarded.
Wait, so why did what's the running theory as to why they cloned Biden? So the real one died?
Perhaps. I'm not sure exactly what the major theory is. I think probably either he died or they just needed someone else.
A retard clone?
Someone they could control fully.
Somebody
I
they
don't
could
know.
manipulate. Yeah.
You're saying that Biden's like a VHS tape, each copy gets more degraded?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's more
I mean,
degraded.
isn't that
So
the way
fluttering.
clones would work?
Yep.
Fuck if I know.
See, in my opinion, they want Biden to die so they could put in Kamala Harris or someone else. Or do they want Biden because he's like a brain dead dummy that they could just use as a puppet and then do what they will without him actually having a say?
Yes and yes.
Okay, so here is old Biden, right? This is when he was young in the 80s there, probably 2000s, Biden period. You notice the earlobe is very detached.
Mm-hmm.
Very detached earlobe. This is Biden in the White House right now.
Earlobes don't grow back.
Always look at the ears.
It looks pretty attached, but this also isn't a great angle to see the detachment if it's there. Also, is it the same ear? Are both ears always attached or
Let's see.
detached?
Trying to find one of him that's current.
Yeah, the replacement people,
It's hard
conspiracy people,
sometimes
they always
because
say,
like
look
the
at the ears.
copy is good. The copy is very good. The
Yeah,
face is
visually,
the face is right on. It's the ears that fuck with you.
Well, it's kind of like how AI always like fucks up fingers and hands. Earlobes
Yeah.
are probably.
Here's another one.
Oh yeah, that's 100% attached.
That's the same ear.
Okay, go back to the triple.
Yep.
So you're saying that's Biden 98, Biden XP,
Mhm.
and then Biden 11?
Biden
Well, look at
2000.
Biden on the far right there. That lobe looks detached, doesn't it?
That one does.
It's
yes.
a little that's a very detached one.
But it's
this
possible.
is his right one. Right, so this is both ears.
Hmm.
That's his left one. That's the same ear. 20 years apart. But it grew back to his face.
It's possible they did a horizontal mirror flip of the image where his right ear looks like his left ear.
Ah.
Could be true.
Perhaps.
Like if you did that in Photoshop, did a horizontal flip it'll swap his face the opposite side, and it'll look like
Now,
the opposite.
The other possibility could also be maybe he got like a facelift, and somehow that
I
did
thought
that.
about that too. That could be a possibility.
Yeah, that could be possible. I mean, if he got a facelift, dear God, that he didn't get a good one, because Jesus Christ, look at this fucking thing. I can see your
could they have
pores
done like
from
that
fucking
movie?
Maryland.
Nicolas Cage and what? Could they change faces?
Face
Face
Face off.
Face.
Could be that.
Oh.
John Travolta.
What are you talking about? That is the face of fucking America in a nutshell.
Is it any wonder they're the best defense attorneys because they find all these awesome loopholes and things?
Yeah.
I'm kind of embarrassed to be here right now.
You sound like a real ignorant goy right now.
I know.
I mean-
Like,
Hey, what's Yaku?